Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Welcome to this edition of Market Mantra, in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. I'm Arjun Chaudhary and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Sonu Sood.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत है। रोज की तरह आज भी हम देश और दुनिया से आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार के ताजा समाचार आप तक लाएंगे। प्रमुख खबरों पर चर्चा के लिए आज हमारे स्टूडियो में आमंत्रित है वरिष्ठ आर्थिक विशेषज्ञ सुषमा रामाचंद्रन। सुषमा, नमस्कार, आपका स्वागत है।
थैंक यू सोनू।
शुरुआत में हेडलाइंस, जिन्हें आप तक ला रहे हैं अर्जुन चौधरी।
Benchmark domestic stock indices, Sensex and Nifty hit fresh lifetime highs amid positive global cues. Banks and financial institutions have signed an agreement to speed up resolution of bad loans. And gold prices fall to 30,840 rupees per 10 grams in New Delhi bullion market.
सकारात्मक वैश्विक संकेतों के बीच प्रमुख घरेलू सूचकांक सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी ताजा रिकॉर्ड उच्चतम स्तरों पर पहुंचे। बैंकों और वित्तीय संस्थानों ने संकटग्रस्त ऋणों के निवारण को गति देने के समझौते पर किए हस्ताक्षर। और सोने का मूल्य दिल्ली सराफा बाजार में गिरकर 30,840 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर आ गया। सबसे पहले शेयर बाजार। प्रमुख घरेलू सूचकांक सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी बढ़कर ऐतिहासिक उच्चतम स्तरों पर बंद हुए। कंपनियों की उत्साहजनक तिमाही आमदनी से बढ़ावा मिलने पर इंजीनियरिंग, कैपिटल गुड्स, धातु और रियल्टी क्षेत्रों में मजबूत खरीदारी हुई। बंबई शेयर बाजार के सेंसेक्स में लगातार दूसरे दिन रिकॉर्ड स्थापित करने का सिलसिला जारी रहा। सूचकांक में भारी योगदान वाले लार्सन एंड टूब्रो, इन्फोसिस और एचडीएफसी में बढ़त के चलते सेंसेक्स 0.3% की बढ़त से 107 अंकों का उछाल दर्ज करता हुआ 36,825 के ताजा रिकॉर्ड उच्चतम स्तर पर बंद हुआ। दिन के कारोबार में भी 30 शेयरों पर आधारित सेंसेक्स नए रिकॉर्ड उच्चतम अंतर दिवसीय स्तर 36,902 को छू गया था। नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी भी आज 0.5% की तेजी से 50 अंक बढ़कर 11,134 के ताजा रिकॉर्ड उच्चतम स्तर पर बंद हुआ। निफ्टी में शामिल 50 में से 32 कंपनियों में तेजी दर्ज हुई। 50 शेयरों पर आधारित निफ्टी 29 जनवरी के अपने पूर्व रिकॉर्ड समापन स्तर 11,130 के ऊपर बंद हुआ। विस्तारित बाजारों में भी मजबूत रुख था। स्मॉल कैप सूचकांक में 2.2% की तेजी आई और मिड कैप सूचकांक में 1.8% का उछाल दर्ज हुआ।
Key stock indices, Sensex and Nifty rose to close at lifetime high levels today after robust buying in engineering, capital goods, metal and realty shares boosted by encouraging quarterly earnings by companies. Benchmark BSE Sensex continued its record-setting streak for a second day, rising by 107 points or 0.3% to close at a fresh peak of 36,825 as index heavyweight Larsen & Toubro, Infosys and HDFC advanced. The 30-share index also scaled a new record trading high of 36,902 points in day trade. The broader NSE Nifty also finished at a fresh record high of 11,134, up 50 points or 0.5% as 32 of its 50 constituents gained. The 50 issue index surpassed its previous record closing of 11,130, hit on the 29th of January. The broader markets also displayed a firm trend with small cap index rising by 2.2% and the mid cap index by 1.8%. Larsen & Toubro rose the most by 3.4% among Sensex scripts after its IT arm Larsen & Toubro Infotech Limited posted a strong 35% year-on-year growth in net profit at 361 crore rupees yesterday. Asian Paints, Vedanta Limited, Adani Ports and Infosys also advanced up to 2.3%, helping the index scale record high levels. Tata Steel, Coal India, Mahindra & Mahindra, Maruti Suzuki, Axis Bank, Power Grid, ONGC, Tata Motors, Sun Pharma, ITC, IndusInd Bank, HDFC Bank and SBI also rose up by 1.9%. Profit booking in index major TCS, Reliance Industries, Kotak Bank and Hindustan Unilever, however, restricted Sensex gains. Hero MotoCorp fell the most, around 2% among Sensex shares after concerns over price war among two-wheeler makers. Bajaj Auto also fell by 1.4%. Kotak Bank dropped 1.7%. Among the BSE sectoral indices, metal index rose the most by surging 2.9%, followed by realty 2.8%, capital goods 2.6%, infrastructure 2.2%, while BankX fell 0.13%.
सुषमा, क्या कहेंगी आप? दोनों सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी आज रिकॉर्ड उच्चतम स्तरों पर बंद हुए हैं। ऐतिहासिक दिन है बाजारों के लिए। कहां से आ रही है ये तेजी और कितनी स्थायी दिखाई देती है आपको?
देखिए, ये 2-3 दिन से, 3-4 दिन से ये बुलिश ट्रेंड चल रहा है मार्केट में और रिकॉर्ड लेवल्स पे सेंसेक्स आ चुका है। लेकिन ज्यादातर ये जो रैली है वो लार्ज कैप्स में है। अगर आप देखें तो ये बड़ी बड़ी कुछ कंपनीज हैं, जैसे आईटी सेक्टर में कंपनीज हैं, कुछ प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स भी हैं। तो इसमें ये जो रैली है ये बहुत ब्रॉड रेंज नहीं है, वाइड रेंज नहीं है। लेकिन मैं मानती हूं कि ये जो रैली है ये अभी के लिए नहीं है, ये बबल नहीं है, ये जरूर बढ़ेगा। हालांकि हमारे जो इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर्स वो तो इतने अच्छे नहीं है। अगर आप देखेंगे तो इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ रहा है और तेल, कच्चे दाम की जो कीमत है अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में वो अभी भी काफी बढ़ी हुई है और मॉनसून की जो का जो स्प्रेड है वो इस वक्त इतना अच्छा नहीं है, 8% शायद डिफिशिएंसी है। तो ये जो चैलेंजेस, इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शन इतना अच्छा नहीं है, तो ये अभी चैलेंजेस हैं हमारी आर्थिक स्थिति के ऊपर इस साल। फिर भी अगर मॉनसून अच्छा हो जाए तो लगता है कि ये कुछ हमारा जो ग्रोथ रेट है वो ठीक ही रहेगा और बढ़ता ही जाएगा। लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में जितनी ऑप्टिमिज्म हमारी मार्केट में है उतना इज नॉट शोन इन द इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर्स।
We'll be also joined by Arvind Pruthi, consultant and advisor with Abira Securities. Arvind ji, a very warm welcome to you on Market Mantra.
Thank you.
Arvind ji, how would you explain the further rise in the Sensex and Nifty, with the Sensex going up by 0.3% to a fresh peak of 36,825? What is the tactic behind further buying into large cap stocks? Are these mutual funds planning to short sell it later? How are they going to make their money if they continue to buy at high levels?
I personally feel that the rise in the markets is because of the quarterly results that have been out. They have been better than the market street expectations, and that's what my feel is, that's what is driving the markets up.
मिस्टर अरविंद, ब्रॉडर मार्केट्स में अगर हम देखें तो आज स्मॉल कैप 2.2% की दर से बढ़ा है और मिड कैप इंडेक्स में 1.8% का उछाल आया है। तो आपको इन फिगर्स को देख के क्या लगता है कि शायद जो कंपनी अर्निंग्स हैं उनसे ब्रॉडर मार्केट को भी अब बढ़ावा मिल रहा है और अभी तक जो हम एक लिमिटेड बाजार में तेजी देख रहे थे सिर्फ लार्ज कैप्स में, शायद वो ट्रेंड अब रिवर्स हो रहा है?
I certainly feel कि जो हम अब ट्रेंड देख रहे हैं, the current trend in the market is a reflection that the results are across the street. We are expecting better results across the street, and technically also probably the mid caps and the small caps had been beaten down more than what was desired. I feel, there could have been a way of the pattern of the fall, but the fall was too steep, one-sided, and technically also kind of a bounce back was expected in the mid and small caps.
So, आपको लगता है अभी बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज अच्छी हैं स्मॉल कैप और मिड कैप में, अगर आगे के प्रोस्पेक्ट्स अच्छे हैं और अभी वैल्यूएशंस अट्रैक्टिव है तो?
Yes, I think selectively, if you look at the valuations, they have become very attractive for some of the stocks.
We've seen metal index, realty, capital goods, infrastructure, all going up just above that 2% mark. Apart from the positive corporate results across the board, are they expecting some policy initiatives of the current government which will really help them consolidate their market share?
I wouldn't, expect much from the government at this juncture, now that we are in the, year of elections. Even announcements, yes, they do have sentimental effect, but on the ground level, any effects to percolate down, to translate into meaningful numbers, will be a long way from the current scenario.
मिस्टर अरविंद, आज अगर हम देखें अभी जो स्थिति है ग्लोबल स्थिति, उसमें ट्रेड वॉर्स तो जोर पकड़ ही रही हैं। जो लेटेस्ट चेतावनी आई है ट्रंप से, वो उन्होंने कहा है कि हम चाइना से जो सारे इंपोर्ट्स हैं हमारे $500 बिलियन से अधिक के, उन सब पे हम टैरिफ लगा सकते हैं, चेतावनी उन्होंने दी है। और दूसरी तरफ वो ये भी कह रहे हैं कि जो युआन में गिरावट आ रही है वो हमारे इकोनॉमी के लिए अच्छी नहीं है, वो हमें हर्ट कर रही है। ऐसी सिचुएशन में हम देख रहे हैं कि चीन में, एशिया एशियाई बाजारों में हालांकि युआन में बहुत गिरावट आ रही है, उसके चलते चीन के बाजारों में हम तेजी देख रहे हैं, एशियाई बाजारों में, यूरोपीय बाजारों में। तो अभी क्या धारणा है ग्लोबल मार्केट्स की और इसका असर भारतीय बाजार पर भी आगे बढ़ते हुए आप क्या देखते हैं?
I think if I have to sum it up on this topic, I will say the trade wars are not going to be positive for either of the economies, and they are not positive for everybody's a loser in the long run. In the short run, you may have the ups and downs, because I am skeptical that we have not been able to gauge the impact of this trade wars on the Indian thing. It's too early to celebrate also that we might be better off because of these trade wars. I would not be able to form a view at this point of time on this subject.
And what about the Chinese yuan? उसमें जो अनप्रेसिडेंटेड मतलब रिकॉर्ड गिरावट आई है, जिसके लिए उन पर मैनिपुलेशन के भी फिर से इल्जाम लगाए जा रहे हैं, जो 2-3 साल पहले भी एक मुद्दा उठा था, इसका क्या इफेक्ट हो सकता है इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड पे और भारत के लिए स्पेसिफिकली क्या इम्प्लीकेशंस हैं?
See, ultimately, if there is a manipulation, then that is something which is very wrong, I'll say. I mean, it is going to affect everybody, but I doubt whether there could be a manipulation in today's scenario when everybody's on the hooks and everybody's talking about these global wars, trade wars. So I don't think so anybody would even attempt at this stage to get into a scenario like this. As far as India is concerned, I think we would be off a neutral stance, because our exports are not in that percentage to our GDP that it affects on a very large scale to us. It will have an impact on the Indian economy too, but it will not be that it will disturb the entire cartel over here.
Arvindji, just coming back to our domestic markets, the auto sector, what is the outlook for this? We are seeing a price war between certain two-wheeler makers, and the prices have come down in the Sensex and Nifty. What is the outlook for the stock valuations of this sector when it comes to the small investor interest in it?
See, now the game would be, we are just going to have a monsoon, and we hope the monsoon is good. That will be an overall booster for the two-wheeler sector per se. And among the two-wheeler companies, I feel that now it is a game of cost management and the margins. Whosoever is able to have a better margins on the sale with a better cost control, I think they would definitely, be winners in the market.
आज अगर हम देखें तो बैंकेक्स में हल्की गिरावट आई है, लगभग 0.2% की। अभी आपको बैंकिंग सेक्टर में क्या स्थिति दिखाई देती है? पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में जो एक काफी एफर्ट्स किए जा रहे हैं सरकार द्वारा, वहां के जो बैड लोन्स हैं उनके रेजोल्यूशन निकालने के लिए, आपको लगता है उसका पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट होगा और आगे चलकर पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में भी हम तेजी देख सकते हैं?
I may be wrong, but per se, my feeling is that the pain is not over for the public sector banks, because if you look at the results of even the private sector banks, they have shown a rise in their NPAs. And if you further do an analysis of that, now the larger portion of the NPAs of the private sector banks is coming from the SME segment. So I don't feel that the PSUs can stay away from that agony, and sooner than later the SME segment is also going to come and haunt them, which will be again negative for the share prices.
What about the IT sector? We're seeing some positive corporate results from select companies. Do you see a more bullish trend in this particular space when it comes to IT stocks?
I think IT stocks were basically under-owned for quite some time in the past. And what we are seeing is a churn of money, and now the money flowing back to the IT stocks. I think they are heading for better times, and overall also because of the currency depreciation, they would post better numbers in the quarter coming ahead.
मिस्टर अरविंद, बिफोर वी टेक योर लीव, आप हमें सिर्फ मेटल इंडेक्स के बारे में अगर अपना टिप्पणी दे सकें, जिसमें 2.9% का उछाल आया है, और ये मेटल से ही सारा ट्रेड वॉर शुरू हुआ था। फियर्स थे कि उसमें प्राइसेस बढ़ जाएंगे, लेकिन हम देख रहे हैं कि प्राइसेस नीचे आ रहे हैं। सो मेटल स्पेस में आप आगे क्या प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स देखते हैं?
per se, as far as the metal stocks in the Indian context is concerned, I think we are seeing a lot of consolidation happening because of the resolution of these big steel majors. I think there will be a major consolidation in the metal sector going forward, and it will be, a better utilization of the existing resources, better capacity utilizations, and even the companies will be in a better position to bargain with the end clients. So overall, I feel that metal stocks should do well in the coming days too.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका इस विस्तृत चर्चा के लिए। श्रोताओं, ये थे अरविंद पृथ्वी, कंसल्टेंट एंड एडवाइजर अबीरा सिक्योरिटीज के, जो हमसे बाजार के आज के चलन पर बात कर रहे थे।
Let's have a look at how the rupee fared against the dollar today. The rupee today weakened 9 paise to close at 68 rupees 94 paise against the US dollar. In the previous session, the rupee closed at around 68 rupees and 86 paise against the US currency. We were talking earlier about the yuan and how it's faring against the US currency. And the rupee has been steadily declining. Some say it's very good for our exports. We know the IT sector is doing very well. And their rupee earnings and dollar earnings have gone up. So how do you look at this development, and do you expect a further slide in the rupee valuation to the dollar?
Well, the fact is that the rupee has depreciated largely because of certain unfavorable factors. I was talking about weak economic indicators earlier, and I think the major one is the high crude oil prices. Now, we have gone up from a state where you had crude oil prices at $40 and you are going up to 75 to nearly 80. It is now moderated to about 73. But when a country which is importing about 80% of its crude oil requirements, this is something of concern. So rupee is, of course, because of the outflow of dollars, has depreciated as a result. There are analysts anticipating there will be a further fall. Rupee depreciation is not necessary, or currency depreciation is not necessarily a bad thing. China, for instance, has always used, depreciation of its currency to its own benefit. Its huge exports. In fact, one of the complaints by the United States has been that they are constantly depreciating their currency and therefore making their exports more competitive. Unfortunately, in India, our exporters, and we leave out the service exporters just now, but merchandise exporters have not been able to, capitalize whenever the rupee depreciates, and they cite various other reasons. We have taxation, we have this problem, and we have that problem. They have not been able to capitalize on the fall of the rupee. Services, of course, on the other hand, they have, as you rightly pointed out, have been having huge inflows, and it could be one of the, I think it is one of the reasons that you are having such a boom in IT stocks right now. TCS, for instance, Infosys is certainly looking up on the stock market.
And also the purchasing power of the economy comes down. That's the flip side when you look at it from the macroeconomic level. Do you expect any intervention by the central bank to just ensure that the rupee does not slide anymore, but if it does go down, it goes down incrementally over time?
Well, the Reserve Bank, I think, must be very closely monitoring the situation. It is, of course, and it is not really desirable that it tries to step in, because it would have to make a massive effort to prevent this slide. And it's always better for a currency to reach its normal level as compared to the rest of the world. So I think the central bank is not likely to step in, but of course that we have to see.
सुषमा जी, क्या रुपए पे जो हम वीकनेस देख रहे हैं, क्या वो इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स की सारी करेंसीज की वीकनेस है, एंड इट्स मोर टू डू विद डॉलर स्ट्रेंथनिंग रादर देन रुपी वीकनिंग?
इट इज डॉलर स्ट्रेंथनिंग, ऑफ कोर्स, और आप ठीक कह रहे हैं कि इमर्जिंग मार्केट इकोनॉमीज में ये हो रहा है, लेकिन रुपी का सबसे ज्यादा गिरावट है, और वो डोमेस्टिक फैक्टर्स जो मैंने बताए इसके बारे में.
Also, just looking at how the currencies are valued against each other, you look at trade balances, whether it's imbalanced or not, but that's not the case with India and US here. Do you see maybe the regional groupings adopting a separate method of ensuring that they're not in any way affected by how the rupee trades against foreign currencies?
I'm not really understanding your question, because regional groupings are not going to help India per se. They're not going to help the rupee. I mean, that has to be an effort by the country concerned. But if you're talking in terms of trade, yes, then you could have a regional
I meant
impact.
the dollar being used as the preferred medium of exchange, you know, the preferred currency by exporters.
Yes, well, there of course has been that effort to try and get the yuan as a reserve currency, and this is something that has been talked about for several years now. But nothing has come through. Dollar still remains the reserve currency of the world, and I don't think you're going to have any change very soon, because I mean, this, as I said, there's been so much talk about it for several years now, and I don't see anything happening in the near future. Certainly it is desirable, but nothing is likely to happen in the near future.
चर्चा को विस्तार देने से पहले आइए अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजारों पर एक नजर डाल लेते हैं। एशियाई बाजारों में आज बढ़त का रुख था। निवेशकों का ध्यान बॉन्ड्स की ब्याज दरों और चीन के युआन में गिरावट पर टिके रहने के बीच चीन के बाजार का प्रदर्शन बाकी बाजारों से बेहतर रहा। चीन के बाजार में कल की तेजी आज भी जारी रही और शंघाई कॉम्पोजिट सूचकांक 1.6% के उछाल में रहा। हांगकांग का हैंगसेंग 1.4% की बढ़त पर बंद हुआ। जापान का निकेई सूचकांक और दक्षिण कोरिया का कॉस्पी दोनों में आधा प्रतिशत की तेजी दर्ज हुई। सिंगापुर के बाजार में हालांकि कोई बदलाव नहीं हुआ। यूरोपीय क्षेत्र की बात करें तो दिन के कारोबार में ताजा समाचार मिलने तक यहां भी बढ़त का रुख था। लंदन का फुटसी 0.8%, फ्रांस का कैक 0.9% और जर्मनी का डैक्स 1.4% की तेजी पर थे।
Moving on to the U.S. market, Wall Street stocks largely today rose as a jump in 10-year bond yields boosted financials and as news of upcoming international trade talks offset the negative impact of the strengthening U.S. dollar and corporate earnings forecast. The financial sector rose 1.4% after 10-year U.S. Treasury yields climbed to the highest level in 5 weeks. The Federal Reserve was seen as likely to continue raising interest rates despite criticism from President Donald Trump. The Dow Jones Industrial average closed almost flat. The S&P 500 gained marginally by 0.2% and the Nasdaq Composite added 0.3%. So, from, moving away from the equity market, if we can focus on the bond market, the demand has gone up, because the economy is doing well, and the bond yields are going up. So, it's in the interest really of the Federal Reserve to increase the interest rate. So, there is more buying interest in the bond. Is that not the case?
Yeah. So, this is of course, reflective of the strengthening of the U.S. economy. And one of the things that has to be said is that despite all the criticism of Donald Trump, it has been during his administration that the U.S. economy has improved its performance. And of course, as the financial sector that you have just reported, and the issue of bond yields, he's also managed to ensure that the changes in tax laws have ensured that some of the big tech giants have had to make huge income tax payments which they were withholding have come back into the country. So there is I should say a sort of a different narrative if you look just at Wall Street and if you look just at the at economic scenario under Donald Trump as compared to the very I would say the fumbling bumbling kind of role that you see for him. Now, whether it is due to the present administration or the Federal Reserve itself, which has been moving with great confidence and cautiously after the end of the quantitative easing, and they have gone ahead with interest rates rising, as you have pointed out, despite criticism by Donald Trump.
But why is the criticism there? उनको क्या objection हो सकती है? क्या उससे होगा?
Because once again, because business obviously does not want interest rates rising, just like in India, they don't want interest rates rising, but it is required in that country because they will be attracting a lot of investment from all over the globe if they do that, and also from India.
लेते हैं अगली खबर आपके पास बेनामी प्रॉपर्टीज को लेकर एक खबर है.
Yes, thank you. The Income Tax Department has attached Benami properties worth 4,300 crore rupees till 30th last month. Minister of State of Finance Shiv Pratap Shukla today said the government has taken various steps to identify Benami properties, and the IT department has set up 24 dedicated Benami prohibitions units across India. The Benami Transaction Prohibition Amendment Act 2016 seeks to prohibit the Benami transaction irrespective of the method by which such property, both movable and immovable, is acquired. In another reply, Shukla said tax collections from foreign companies have gone up to 27,561 crore rupees in the assessment year 2017-18 from 24,541 crore rupees a year ago. Just briefly, how do you see this development of money laundering really, where the onus is really on the person who has committed the crime and not so much on the state to prove the case?
Yes, I think I think it's part of the drive of this government to try and attack corruption as far as taxation is concerned. There has been a big drive. They have been able to also, as far as income tax inflows are concerned, have also come in much higher, as you have mentioned. But also they have widened the tax net. The tax base has gone up substantially, and that is certainly to the credit of this government. This is, as I said, Benami properties has been another big problem as far as black money is concerned, and it is significant that they have gone ahead to attach so many of them.
Because it's also the proceeds of corruption and how you're
As I said, it's linked to black money. It is people buying property under different names and what we call Benami in this country, under fake names, under false names, or attached by friends and relatives in the name of friends and relatives.
In more news, nearly 24 banks and financial institutions, including the SBI and the LIC, have signed the Inter-Creditor Agreement Framework to speed up the resolution of stressed assets which are under the 500 crore rupee bracket. The framework is part of the project Sashakt, the report on bad bank drafted and submitted by the committee headed by the non-executive chairman of PNB, Sunil Mehta, earlier this month. Talking to reporters, Mr. Mehta said the objective of the ICA is to resolve stressed assets fast and will primarily focus on NPAs in the 50 crore to the 500 crore bracket.
सुषमा, आप क्या कहेंगी? इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंक्रप्सी कोड के साथ साथ ये एक अच्छा सप्लीमेंट्री मेजर है और इसका मेन उद्देश्य ये है कि वो जो कंपनीज हैं वो बच जाएं और उनका जो संचालन है वो चलता रहे.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. ये एक और, जैसे आपने कहा, ये एक और कदम है कि टू रिजॉल्व एनपीएस. सबसे बड़ी चीज तो खैर वो इंसॉल्वेंसी कोड था जो इस सरकार ने लागू किया, और उसके बाद से वो जो ट्राइब्यूनल की वजह से वो सबसे जो बड़े बड़े उद्योग हैं जिनके सबसे बड़े जो एनपीएस थे उनको उन्होंने लिया और उनको बेचा भी है. बेचने का काम शुरू हो रहा है. 12
कंपनीज आरबीआई ने आइडेंटिफाई की,
बड़ी कंपनीज थी, सबसे बड़ी जो थी. अब ये छोटे लेवल पे आ गई हैं. अब 500 करोड़ की जो बात कर रहे हैं, हमें तो जब हम एनपीएस को देखते हैं तो 500 करोड़ तो बहुत ही छोटा लगता है. हम हजार करोड़ की बात कर, मतलब 10,000 करोड़ की बात करते हैं.
All these banks are dipping into LIC's capitalization, is it not?
So this is of course LIC is involved in it. It is not just the LIC. And we can't say that they are dipping into LIC, because LIC is going to be one of the many banks which is involved in this. But yes, I don't think the LIC per se, the insurance sector, should be getting into this area. Otherwise, this is definitely one more positive step to resolve this huge problem of NPAs.
आइए चले सराफा बाजार की ओर. कमजोर वैश्विक रुख और स्थानीय आभूषण निर्माताओं की मांग कमजोर रहने से दिल्ली सराफा बाजार में सोना 50 रुपए सस्ता होकर 30,840 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर आ गया. हालांकि औद्योगिक इकाइयों और सिक्के बनाने वालों की छुटपुट मांग निकलने से चांदी 5 रुपए की बढ़त से 39,325 रुपए प्रति किलो हो गई. कारोबारियों के अनुसार धारणा पर दबाव कमजोर वैश्विक संकेतों से पड़ा. डॉलर में मजबूती के चलते सोने का मूल्य नीचे आ गया और फेडरल रिजर्व द्वारा ब्याज दरों में बढ़ोतरी की उम्मीदों के बल पर अमेरिका में ट्रेजरी बॉन्ड पर ब्याज दरों में वृद्धि आई. अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर सिंगापुर के बाजार में सोना 0.27% की गिरावट से $1,220.70 प्रति आउंस पर आ गया और चांदी 0.1% के नुकसान से $15.32 प्रति आउंस दर्ज हुई. सो ब्रीफली कहें कि आपको लगता है सोने में ये जो वीकनेस है वो कंटिन्यू करेगी?
हाँ, जब तक ये डॉलर स्ट्रेंथन रहेगा तो सोने का दाम अभी तक बेरिश ट्रेंड ही रहेगा, कम से कम मीडियम टर्म में.
Well, let's have a look at the oil market now. Brent crude prices in intraday trade today were trading around $73.08 a barrel, while WTI prices were at around $68.28 when reports last came in.
कार्यक्रम का समय समाप्त होने को है. आप आइंश हमारे श्रोताओं को बहुमूल्य जानकारी दी, उसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सुषमा जी.
थैंक यू सोनू.
Well, let's now have a look at our closing headlines. Benchmark domestic stock indices, Sensex and Nifty hit fresh time highs amid positive global cues. Banks and financial institutions signed an agreement to speed up resolution of bad loans, and gold prices fall to 30,840 rupees per 10 grams in the New Delhi bullion market.
आर्थिक सुर्खियां एक बार फिर सकारात्मक वैश्विक संकेतों के बीच प्रमुख घरेलू सूचकांक सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी ताजा रिकॉर्ड उच्चतम स्तरों पर पहुंचे। बैंकों और वित्तीय संस्थानों ने संकटग्रस्त ऋणों के निवारण को गति देने के समझौते पर किए हस्ताक्षर और सोने का मूल्य दिल्ली सराफा बाजार में गिरकर 30,840 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर आ गया।
That's all in today's edition of Market Mantra. For now, goodbye.
Market Mantra.